our daily life. Then children, what is pH then? A pH measures the hydrogen ion concentration. And pH scale ranges from 0 to 14. As 7 indicates that solution is neutral. When the pH is less than 7, that solution is acidic in nature. When the pH is greater than 7, that solution is basic in nature. So children, till now we have discussed only about acids and bases. So today in this session we are going to discuss about salts. In the previous classes we have observed that when acid reacts with base, it gives salt and water. Okay, what is the nature of the salt then? Is it neutral? Is it acidic? Or is it basic? So we are going to check the nature of the salts or pH of the salts with an activity. So we are going to do the experiment. So children, you know that the acid will always turns a blue litmus paper to red and base turns red litmus to blue. So for this activity, I have taken 3 salts. So first I have taken a sodium chloride solution. So you know that how to prepare a solution. So sodium chloride solution. Children, what is the common name of sodium chloride? Yeah, it is common salt. Then I have taken a copper sulfate solution. Then I have taken a sodium bicarbonate solution or sodium hydrogen carbonate solution. Children, what is the common name of sodium bicarbonate? Yeah, it is baking soda. That means I have taken a solution of baking soda. Now we are going to check the pH of these 3 salts. The color of the litmus paper, children, it is blue. So first we are going to check the pH of the sodium chloride solution. So what do you observe, children? So there is no color change. So again I am going to take a red litmus paper. I am going to dip in the same sodium chloride solution. Children, does any color change? No. So it does not turn the red litmus paper and also it does not turn the blue litmus paper. Then what is the nature of the sodium chloride? Anyone? Can anyone tell what is the nature of the sodium chloride salt solution? Yeah, it is neutral. So sodium chloride solution is neutral in nature. Now we are going to check the pH of the copper sulfate solution. First I have taken a blue litmus paper. I am going to dip in a copper sulfate solution. Children, does any color change? Yeah, the blue litmus paper turned into red. It indicates what? So it indicates the copper sulfate salt is acidic in nature. So now we are going to check the nature of the baking soda solution, that is sodium hydrogen carbonate solution. Can you see? What is the color change? A red litmus paper turned into blue. It indicates what, children? It is basic in nature. So from this activity we came to know that the sodium chloride solution is a neutral in nature, the copper sulfate solution is a acidic in nature and the baking soda solution is a basic in nature. So children, in the activity we have took 3 samples, that is 3 salts only. All 3 are salts only, but they are differing in nature. So their nature depends on what? So children, the nature of the salts depends upon the reacting acid and base. You can observe here. So when the acid is formed from the strong acid and strong base, then that salt is neutral. You can observe, children, both acid and the base are strong only. That means the acid gets neutralized by the strong acid gets neutralized by the strong base. Hence the formed salt is neutral in nature. And what is the pH of the salt if it is neutral? It is 7. So among the 3 salts, which one was neutral in nature? Yeah, we took the sodium chloride solution. So salt, sodium chloride is So that's why the salt is going to be acidic in nature. So you can see why the salt is acidic. You can see we have to be strong acid. So the strong acid is going to be dominating. So strong acid and the base is weak. So that's why a salt gets the acidic nature. So hence the form salt is acidic in nature. So what is the pH of the acidic salts? It is less than 7. The pH is less than 7. So among 3 samples which we took in the activity, which salt is acidic in nature? It is copper sulfate. So copper sulfate salt is acidic in nature. Why it is acidic in nature? Because it formed from the strong acid sulfuric acid, that is H2SO4, and weak base copper hydroxide CuOH2. So because the copper sulfate is acidic in nature, why? Because it is formed from the strong acid sulfuric acid and the weak base calcium hydroxide. Hence the formed salt is acidic in nature and it has the pH value less than 7. Children, why the salts are basic in nature? Because it is formed from the weak acid and strong base. So that's why the formed salt is basic in nature. That is, see here, it is formed from the weak acid and the strong base. Which character is going to be dominating? It is base character is going to be dominating because it is strong base. Hence the salts get the basic nature. So the formed salt is basic in nature. So among 3 samples, which one is basic in nature? It is sodium bicarbonate, that is baking soda. Sodium bicarbonate is basic in nature and it has a pH value greater than 7. So I am going to repeat again. So if the salt is neutral, then it is formed from the strong acid and strong base. If the salt is acidic in nature, then it is formed from the strong acid and weak base. If the salt is basic in nature, so it is formed from the weak acid and strong base. And we play a game? A game. So a game is you should find the name of the salt by using the clues. So you should find the name of the salt by using the clues. Okay. So first clue is this salt is a raw material for the manufacture of the many materials which we are using day to day life. For example, baking soda and washing soda. So this salt is used as a raw material for these production. So what is the name of the salt, children? Can anyone guess? I think only few of you guessed the name of the salt. So I am going to give second clue. So from that all are going to find out the answer. So second clue is, so this salt is a main symbol during the Gandhiji's Dandi March. So it is the main symbol during the Gandhiji's Dandi March. Okay, what is that salt then? Yeah, it is common salt. Common salt is the raw materials for the preparation or the manufacture of the many materials. So children, now we are going to see how the sodium hydroxide, that is NaOH, is going to be prepared from the raw material sodium chloride. So this process involves when electricity is passed to an aqueous solution of a sodium chloride, it decomposes to form a sodium hydroxide. So when electricity is passed to an aqueous solution of sodium chloride, then it decomposes to form a sodium hydroxide, and this process is called as a chloralkali process. And this process is called as what, children? It is called as chloralkali process. And what is this aqueous solution of sodium chloride? You know that aqueous solution means whenever the solvent is water, then that solution is called as a aqueous solution. So aqueous solution of the sodium chloride is called as a brine. That means to the brine the electricity is going to be passed and then the sodium hydroxide going to be produced. So children, this is the diagrammatic representation of the process. So children, why this process is called as a chloralkali process? Now we are going to see that. So for this, a brine, that is aqueous solution of sodium chloride, is taken in a container and it needs 2 electrodes. One is anode and cathode. So anode is always a positively charged electrode and cathode is a negatively charged electrode. So anode is connected to the positive terminal of the battery and the cathode is connected to the negative terminal of the battery. So when the electricity is passed, that is when the sodium chloride is dissolved in water, what are the ions are formed? That is Na plus and Cl Cl minus ion. That is sodium ion and chloride ions are formed in a solution. So what are the ions which are present in water? That is H plus and hydroxyl ion. Sodium chloride contains sodium ion and chloride ion, and water contains hydrogen ion and hydroxide ion. So when the electricity is passed, so children, you know that there is always an attraction between positive charge and the negative charge. So the positive charge attracts the negative charge, or negative charge attracts the positive charge. So what is the charge of the anode, children? It is positive charge. So charge of the anode is positive. So which are the ions going to be attracted towards the positively charged ion? That is chloride ion and hydroxide ion. So chloride ion and hydroxide ion going to be attracted towards the anode. Why? Because anode is a positively charged electrode and these two ions are negatively charged ions. So towards the anode, chloride and hydroxide ion going to be attracted. And what is the charge of the cathode? It is negative. So which ions are going to be attracted? Yes, it is positively charged ions are going to be attracted towards the cathode. So that is Na plus sodium ion and hydrogen ion going to be attracted towards the cathode, and these two are attracted towards the anode. So to the cathode, the sodium and hydrogen are going to be attracted. At the anode, the chloride and hydroxyl ion going to be attracted. So when it attracts, so this chloride ion, it gives up the electron. This chloride ion gives up the electron and it is liberated as a chlorine gas, and at the anode, oxidation process going to be taken place. The hydrogen ion gains the electron from the cathode and it is liberated as a hydrogen gas. So it has that means the reduction process going to be takes place at the cathode. So I observe here, at the anode which gas is going to be liberated? Chlorine gas is going to be liberated. At the cathode, the hydrogen gas is going to be liberated. So this hydrogen is removed as a hydrogen gas and this chloride ion is removed as a chlorine gas. So what's the left ions are? That is sodium ion and hydroxyl ion. So the sodium and hydroxyl ion forms the sodium hydroxide. So when these two are liberated as a gases, the left ion is sodium ion and hydroxyl ion. So these two combine to form a sodium hydroxide. So in this way, the sodium hydroxide is going to be prepared. So children, overall reaction can be written as, that is, the raw material is sodium chloride, that is NaCl, and we have to the aqueous solution, that is sodium chloride in the water. So when the electricity is passed through an aqueous solution of a sodium chloride, it decomposes as sodium hydroxide. So when the electricity is passed through an aqueous solution of sodium chloride, so it decomposes as a sodium hydroxide, and this process is called as chloralkali process. So in the beginning I have told that why it is called as a chloralkali process. Children, you can see here there are three products are formed. Not only the sodium hydroxide, so the chlorine gas is also liberated and hydrogen gas is also going to be produced. So hence this process is called chloralkali process. See, chlorine means the chlorine gas is going to be produced. Alkali means base. Which is the alkali here? The base is sodium hydroxide. Hence this process is called as a chloralkali process. So children, you can see here we have got three products, that is sodium hydroxide, chlorine gas and hydrogen gas. So what is the use of the sodium hydroxide? The sodium hydroxide is used in a soap and detergent and for the paper making. So the sodium hydroxide is used in a paper industries and soap and detergent industries. Then what's the use of this hydrogen gas? So hydrogen gas is used as a fuel. And what is this use of the chlorine? The chlorine gas is used as a disinfectant because it kills the bacteria. So it kills the germs. Chlorine gas kills the germs, hence it is used as a disinfectant in a water treatment and it is added to the swimming pool for the killing of the germs. Children, so far we have discussed about how the sodium hydroxide is formed from the chloralkali process. So now we are going to see how the bleaching powder is manufactured. The chemical name of the bleaching powder is calcium oxychloride and formula is CaOCH2. So the formula of bleaching powder is CaOCH2. Children, you should remember the formula of the bleaching powder. How it is going to be manufactured? So which gas is liberated during the chloralkali process? It is chlorine gas. So by the action of the chlorine gas on a calcium hydroxide, the bleaching powder is going to be prepared. So by the action of chlorine gas and the calcium hydroxide, that is slated lime. So by the action of chlorine gas on a slated lime, the bleaching powder, that is calcium oxychloride CaOCl is going to be prepared. Children, what is this use of this bleaching powder? As the name indicates, it is used as a bleaching agent. So it is used as a bleaching of cotton and linen in the textile industries, and also it is used to bleach the wood pulp in the paper industries, and also it is used to bleach a dirty clothes. It is used to bleach a dirty clothes in laundry, and also it is used as a disinfectant because it kills the germs in the water. So it is used as a disinfectant. Children, which salt is going to be used for making crispy bhajis and pakoras? It is baking soda. So the formula of baking soda is NaHCO3, that is sodium hydrogen carbonate. So the chemical name of baking soda is sodium hydrogen carbonate and formula is NaHCO3. Okay, how this baking soda is going to be manufactured? By using the common salt as a raw material, that is common salt NaCl and carbon dioxide used as a reactant, and also water and also ammonia. So NaCl, carbon dioxide and water and ammonia. So when all these four going to be react to form a sodium hydrogen carbonate, along with this one more salt is going to be formed, that is ammonium chloride salt is going to be formed. So from this reaction two salts are formed, but we require only the baking soda, that is sodium hydrogen carbonate. Children, when we heat the baking soda, which gas is going to be liberated? Carbon dioxide. So when the baking soda is heated, so it is converted as a sodium carbonate, that is Na2CO3. And which gas is released, children? That is carbon dioxide gas is going to be released from this reaction, and also the water is going to be formed. So when you heat the baking soda, that is sodium hydrogen carbonate, that is washing soda is produced, and also it liberates the carbon dioxide gas, and also the water molecule is going to be formed. So what is the uses of this baking soda? So the baking soda is used to prepare a baking powder. Children, you remember baking soda is different and baking powder is different. So the baking powder is prepared by mixing a baking soda and tartaric acid. So baking powder is a mixture of baking soda and tartaric acid. This baking powder is used as a baking agent in a bakeries. To prepare a cake or buns, we will use a baking powder. We have observed that the cake is very spongy and soft. Why? So when you heat the baking powder, even there also the carbon dioxide gas is going to be released. So the carbon dioxide gas which makes the cake very soft and spongy. And also in the previous class we have observed that when the more hydrochloric acid is going to be released in the stomach, so what we'll take? We'll take an antacid. So the baking soda acts as an antacid. So baking soda is used as an antacid during the indigestion. And also it is used in a soda acid fire extinguishers. So it is used in a soda acid fire extinguishers. So what is the soda acid fire extinguishers? So when this baking soda reacts with acid, produces again the carbon dioxide gas. So this carbon dioxide gas which put off the fire. Which salt is going to be used for the washing purpose? That is washing soda. So now we are going to see how this washing soda is manufactured. So the chemical name of washing soda is sodium carbonate. The chemical name of washing soda is sodium carbonate and formula is Na2CO3. Observe that when we heat the sodium hydrogen carbonate, the sodium carbonate is going to be produced. So this is the Na2CO3 and then H2O molecule, it is called as sodium carbonate. Children, observe here, it has a water molecule in it. Is this washing soda is really dry or it is moisturized crystal? So is this what is really dry or not? We are going to see with the next activity. So now we will see the uses of the washing soda. So this washing soda is used as a cleaning agent. It is used as a cleaning agent, and also it is used in a glass, soap and paper industries. Cleaning agent for the domestical purpose, and also it is used in a soap, glass and paper industries. And also it is used to remove the hardness of water. It is also used to remove a permanent hardness of water. So children, what is this permanent hardness of water? These salts are going to cause the hardness of water. So the permanent hardness of water is going to be caused by the chloride and sulfide salts. The sodium carbonate, it reacts with dirt salt, that is chloride and sulfide salt, it converted as the insoluble salts. So in this way, the permanent hardness of water is going to be removed by the washing soda. Children, you have seen copper sulfate salt in the laboratory, and also you have seen the washing soda. When you observe the formula of washing soda, it has a 10 water molecule in it. So it means is the crystal of the salts are really dry. Is they are really dry or not? We are going to check through an activity. Children, now we are going to conduct an experiment. So first I have taken a dry test tube. I am going to add a few copper sulfate crystal in a test tube. Children, what is the color of the copper sulfate crystal? It is blue in color. So now I am going to heat this copper sulfate crystal. Observe carefully. Children, you can observe water droplets are found on the sides of the test tube. So we didn't added any water to the crystal. So the crystal was dry. But where does it water came? And see, what is the color of the copper sulfate now? The color of the copper sulfate crystals are turned into white. Why this is so? Children, so the color of the crystals has changed and it has become white. So now I am going to transfer to watch glass. So before heating, the crystal was blue in color. After heating, it has become white. What is the reason for this? Now I am going to add a few drops of water in the white copper sulfate crystal. See children, what is the color now? The color of the copper sulfate is reappeared. Why it is so? What is the reason for this? So before heating, it was blue. After heating, it turned into white. Again, when we added the water, it has become again blue. In the activity, you have observed that when we heated the copper sulfate crystals, first it was blue and then it is turned into white. So why? So the copper sulfate has 5 water molecule in it. That is, hence it is blue in color. So the copper sulfate has 5 water molecule in it. So when we heat it, it turned into copper sulfate. That means water is going to be removed from the copper sulfate. So this water molecule which is present in a copper sulfate is called as a water of crystallization. It is called as a water of crystallization. So what is this water of crystallization? It's nothing but the water of crystallization is the number of water molecule which is present in a one formula unit of the salt. So water of crystallization is the number of water molecules which is present in a one formula unit of a salt is called as a water of crystallization. Children, the copper sulfate, that is CuSO4, it has a 5 water of crystallization. That is 5 molecules of water which is present in a copper sulfate. So the water of crystallization of a copper sulfate is 5. In the same way, a washing soda. The washing soda has a 10 water molecule in it. And also a formula unit of a salt. The copper sulfate has a 5 water molecule and sodium carbonate, that is washing soda, has a 10 water molecule, and calcium sulfate, that is gypsum salt, has a 2 water molecule in it. So it indicates what? So these are the salts. They appears to be dry, but they are not dry in nature. So these salts, they appear to be dry, but they are not dry in nature. Children, now we are going to see how the plaster of Paris is going to be manufactured. So this plaster of Paris is going to be manufactured by heating the gypsum salt, that is calcium sulfate dihydrated salt. So when this gypsum salt is going to be heated at the 373 Kelvin, this plaster of Paris is going to be produced. So the chemical name of the plaster of Paris is calcium sulfate hemihydrate, that is CaSO4, that is calcium sulfate. Hemi means half. Plaster of Paris has a half water molecule in it, hence its formula is CaSO4 half H2O, and the chemical name is calcium sulfate hemihydrate.
Plaster of Paris reacts with water, it forms the gypsum salt. The plaster of Paris should be stored in a moisture-proof container because the plaster of Paris absorbs the moisture and it forms a hard solid gypsum salt.
Children, what are the uses of the plaster of Paris? The plaster of Paris is used for making of the toys and also be used to make the surface very smooth. And doctors will use this plaster of Paris as a supporting material to the fractured bones. Children, we came to the end of this section. Now take down the homework.
First question is, what is water of crystallization? Second one is, write the chemical formula of plaster of Paris. Third one is, write any two importance of bleaching powder and baking soda. Fourth question is, write the chemical equation for the following. First one is chloralkali process. Second one is heating of baking soda. Fifth question is, draw a neat label diagram of chloralkali process.
So I hope you have enjoyed the class and you have understood the class. Take care children. Bye.